Geltrude, who's CEO of Geltrude Business Technology Solutions. Michael, how do you see things playing out today in the stock market?
I think we're going to see stocks go back to where they were previously. I think that the market's going to move more towards a positive direction. Trump is said the tariffs are here to stay, and they're to make the market fair. So I would tell people out there, especially investors, think about this as maybe the stock market has a sale going on right now. Because if a product that you really liked a week ago is now 10% or 15% cheaper than it was last week, maybe it's a good time to buy, because we don't know if prices are going to stay that way forever. Always invest for the long term is kind of how I would put it to people out there. But just know that things may be on sale, so it could be a good time to buy.
Of course, you know, Michael, President Trump is saying this is a necessary step to make America wealthy again. So is this just a case of, you know, no pain, no gain?
Yeah, I do think it is. Tariffs have worked in the past, and this is a good opportunity to start keeping money in the United States. The Trump administration is really trying to change consumer buying habits so that they stay in the United States. I think a good metaphor for this would be like supporting a local flea market, right? You always want to support your local communities, and especially when you know the products are good and they're made around here, you're happy to do it. It may cost you a little bit more than going to the supermarket, but at the end of the day, it's good for everybody.
Yeah, and I mean, like you mentioned, we've had them before, and I'll say it again. I mean, the only time the United States debt was at a whopping $0 was when we had high tariffs and low to no income tax. So they can work. It's okay. Okay, so Michael, we're also getting a consumer price index report today that'll give us a look at where inflation is heading. So it's expected to come in at 2.9%, a slight dip from last month. Of course, a lot of President Trump's economic policies, they haven't quite fully kicked in yet. So Michael, what's your take?
So, yeah, this morning we're going to see around 8:30 a.m. that the CPI is going to come out. That's the Consumer Price Index. And for the viewers out there, it's really a measure of prices in the market and whether or not they're changing. They're looking that it'll come in right around 0.3%. Now, that's not really a big number. That would be like going to the grocery store today, spending $100, and then next month it's $100.30. That's not really a big adjustment. It's not really going to affect people very much, but it is important to keep an eye on the inflation number. It has been going down, and since January, it's ticked down a little bit, and any improvement is good here, especially with what we've been seeing in inflation the last few years, especially with all the changes that we're going through. We're doing a lot right now, but I think it's going to have a positive effect in the long term.
Well, speaking of inflation, let's talk about those eggs. So Agriculture Secretary Brooke Wallens had this to say, that her team's approach to cutting the cost of eggs is working. She said egg prices are down about $2. All right, Michael, Easter right around the corner. Is the drop going to be short-lived?
Well, for anyone who's taken an economics class before, pricing always comes down to supply and demand. The issue that we've been having with eggs is it's been hitting both sides of that equation. The supply has been low because there's been an avian flu outbreak, which led farmers to have to discard chicken and eggs to protect the consumers. And on the other side, the demand is high. Americans are eating more eggs than ever and using it as part of making meals. So both sides of that equation are being affected, and therefore the price has been high. Now, we've seen price come down a couple bucks the last few days, few weeks, and that's a good thing. And like I said, with all the change going on, anything in a positive direction is good because there's so much uncertainty out there.
Yeah, Michael, I mean, I will have to say, at my local grocery store, I was paying $12 for a dozen, and I just got them the other day for $5.99 for a dozen. So I'm pretty happy about these egg prices dropping, and I'm certainly seeing that in real life. Michael Geltrude, thank you so much for joining us this morning. Always a pleasure.
Thank you.